One of the types of problems that you're asked to do in the book is to convert from Riemann sum notation to definite integrals. So, remember that in the Riemann sum, the x sub i's form a partition of the interval from a to b. So what's going to happen is in the book they're going to give you a Riemann sum and they're going to ask you to write down the corresponding definite integral. So let's see how things match up. Notice that the delta x sub I and the dx are holding similar places. So you would change the delta x sub I to a dx, thinking about that as the width of your rectangle. Your f of c sub I corresponds to f of x. So those are the heights of rectangles. So you simply replace c sub I with x. The summation symbol corresponds to the integral sign. And notice that the a and the b, the endpoints of your interval, have to be given separately in the problem. So somewhere they have to tell you what the interval is that you're integrating over. So let me show you what a typical problem looks like. In problem number 11, it gives you this, by the way, this is on page 277. You're given the limit as the mesh size goes to 0 of the sum of 3 c sub I plus 10 delta x sub I goes from 1 to n. And they tell you that the interval is from -1 to 5. So to convert that into an integral, the integral sign, the summation sign is replaced by the integral sign. The endpoints a and b are pulled from the interval. The c sub I gets replaced with x. And the delta x sub I gets replaced with dx. So the limit of this Riemann sum is that definite integral. That wasn't too hard. Let me show you another example. In number 12, from the same page, we have the limit as the mesh size goes to 0 of the sum I equals 1 to n of the square root of c sub I squared plus 4 delta x sub I, where the x's are a partition of the interval from 0 to 3. The summation sign is replaced by the integral. The boundary points or endpoints on the integral come from the interval from 0 to 3. Notice that the left endpoint goes on the bottom and the right endpoint goes at the top. This is my function f of c sub I. So I take that function and I replace the c sub i's with x's. And finally, the delta x gets replaced with dx.